Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. It's Friday, which means another crypto interest rates and news update. Today is the 23rd of April 2021, and apologies in advance, just going to be a very brief update today. I'm really rushing around a lot. I've got to shoot out probably in a half an hour, so I just wanted to get a quick video done and edited and uploaded before I leave, because I know it's over the last few weeks been a little bit kind of off schedule, having to do videos over the weekend instead of Friday and stuff like that. So I just want to do a quick video, let you know about any kind of changes or big news stories that have been going on. And as always, we start by taking a look at interest rates and any new coins being added. And I suppose no news is good news in a way. It's been quite interesting. We haven't seen really any new coins added to a lot of these platforms for quite a while. Seems to be a little bit of a flat sort of period in the market at the moment. Now, next week I'm expecting a lot more news. We will get our monthly updates for the rates for kind of Bitcoin and stuff like that for BlockFi and Ledden, and undoubtedly on the back of that also for kind of Celsius and some of the other kind of platforms. So I think next week we'll have an interesting, be really interesting to see what happens with the rates for Bitcoin, whether they stay where they are for now or whether they are tweaked again. Obviously we've had a reduction in kind of rates, or certainly a reduction in tiers for BlockFi, for Ledden over the last kind of like month or two, and Celsius Network dropping their rates also quite substantially. So over the weekend I will go through, make sure everything is updated. Celsius tend to launch the new rates for the week just after I do this video, so over the weekend I'll go through, make sure everything is up to date. If you do see any errors, do let me know in the comments below or via email. Email address is always at the bottom of the spreadsheet here. But moving on to the token prices, you'll see first I've added another token here, Swissball. So a fair few people have asked me my opinions on Swissball, asked me to do a review on it and stuff like that. So what I've decided is that I'll start incorporating it a little bit more into these kind of updates. I haven't put the rates or anything like that because they do fluctuate on a kind of daily basis, but I will update the spreadsheet. I think once they go live with a BTC yield, at the moment it's USDC, Ethereum and their own token, but once they go live with BTC as well, I'll start adding them into the spreadsheet and keeping more of a track on them. But obviously, massive sell-off in the kind of market. It's been a really kind of turbulent week in general. It doesn't necessarily, apply to a lot of these kind of platforms, but just in the crypto markets in general, we had that really big kind of sell-off just a week ago, last weekend. I think it was Saturday night, and then another big sell-off last night. So Bitcoin under 50,000 went down to about 57.5. It's currently trading around 49.5 now, so it's had a little bit of a recovery. Ethereum's had a really good kind of run, reaching all-time highs yesterday, and then again a really big kind of dump overnight, and a little bit of a kind of pullback again. So we'll have to see whether the main kind of dumping's over. I think this latest kind of set was due to the potential Biden capital gains tax announcement, which was kind of yesterday, and then obviously last weekend we had the hash rate kind of issues with the Chinese kind of like basic coal mining explosion, was it, and then taking a lot of kind of mining farms in that particular kind of region offline, hitting the kind of hash rate, and then that being a kind of like cascading effect of people on very highly leveraged long positions getting liquidated, which then liquidated the next set, which then liquidated the next set. So we had a kind of like a sort of domino kind of effect all the way down. So that was a lot of downward pressure on the price, and Bitcoin really hadn't recovered particularly this week. Ethereum on the other hand had bounded straight back up to an all-time high. So Bitcoin dominance is pretty low at the moment. We'll have to see whether this is a kind of bottom. I think potentially 47,500 maybe was the kind of local bottom. Weekends tend to be a little bit more volatile. There's no institutional kind of buying or selling, so there's a reasonable chance, I think, for another kind of leg down over the kind of weekend if people decide to kind of dump and try and push prices lower. But hopefully we've seen the low now earlier on today. But looking at these kind of token prices, you can see Swissball's had a flat week, and that has been the best news basically out of all of these. Nexo down 12.5%, Celsius down 16.3%. But Crypto.com losing 40% of its value. An absolutely catastrophic week for Crypto.com price-wise. So we've had a lot of fluctuations recently. We've had some really big spikes also for Crypto.com and Celsius over the last kind of few weeks and kind of months. But yeah, a little bit of a downward kind of trajectory as we would expect with the prices across the market. But yeah, crypto.com, the big loser, losing 40%. If you are looking to stock up and you don't think it's going to go any lower, might be a good time now. And then moving on to just a few short stories or small stories this week. There's nothing dramatic really has happened, but a couple of offers that have come in. Firstly from BlockFi, this came in earlier. Basically they're doing a 10% APY in crypto on stable coins. Now this is just for a set period, and it's only going to be for balances, so new stablecoin balances until July the 31st will be earning at 10%, and basically it will earn as usual at 8.6%, and then the additional amount will be paid as a one-off bonus at the end of the term, but as you can see here, excludes Tether. So the issue with this is that, you know, if you're transferring potentially kind of USDC or something like that, there are still better rates on other platforms, certainly kind of Ledn and Celsius offering better rates than BlockFi, even at kind of 10%. But if you are interested in using one of their other stable coins, if we jump over here, you see they do offer a few different ones. So we've got obviously Tether, which isn't included in USDC, but they've also got Paxos Standard, Gemini USD, and the Binance USD. So if you're interested in earning a little bit more on one of those, you can take advantage of this BlockFi offer. Similarly, Celsius have got an offer at the moment, which is actually on the loan side. So if you're looking for a crypto back loan, there's a $75 bonus sign up. So you can see here, if you get approved for a loan by May the 2nd, so in the next week, just over a week, you get $75 in crypto on them. You've got to enter the promo code Queen. I'll let you read through this. Links as always will be in the description below to all the stories, and you can get any kind of promo codes or anything like that there. And then just moving on to Swissball, one of the stories that came out this week, they're actually upping the yield on their own Swissball token. So that's the CHSB token. If we scroll down here, you can see Swissball here. You can earn a yield on 3 different tokens or coins now. So you've got USDC, CHSB, which is their own token, and Ethereum. And these rates here, they look incredibly attractive, but if you note the asterisks here, this is for premium account holders. So in order to be a premium account holder, you needed to have bought 50,000 CHSB and locked those up. And once they're locked up, you're not actually earning a yield on those locked tokens. That's just for the just to get the kind of the higher rates. But if you do that, you get double the rates of the standard kind of users. If we scroll down a bit here, you can see a standard account yield for CHSB. This will now be about 5% per annum and 10% for premium. Now there is an additional level of premium membership, which hopefully will be launching quite soon. It's called Community Premium, I believe, and you only have to have 2,000 CHSB tokens locked up, and you'll get 1.5 times yield. So not as good as the 2 times for the premium users, but for just locking up 2,000 coins seems a pretty decent return. Now, even half the amount of that, you look at that and say, well, 18%, but that is the peak amount that they have generated to date, and this is done on a daily basis. If we actually scroll through to today's rate, you can see the standard rate on USDC today is 6.55, Swissball is 5%, we've just covered that, and Ethereum 4.12. So these rates are actually, at today's kind of prices, substantially lower than some of the more traditional CeFi platforms. So Swissball generates its yield on DeFi, yield farming and DeFi platforms, stuff like that. So at the moment, a little bit of a suppression in price. But if you jump over to this page, if you're interested in Swissball, they're going to be doing this monthly yield report. So this is quite interesting. I'll let you read through it in your own time, because it's got quite a long read. But basically, it shows you what's been happening in the DeFi landscape, and then how they've been generating the yield and kind of patterns and trends. And you can see here there is a downward kind of trend. So they've averaged 15.29% over the last month, I think that is. But a big decline over the last kind of month. You know, we've gone from sort of maybe 17.5 all the way back down to a very low amount, specifically at the end of the kind of month, and that's continued on. So I think the average amount seemed to be decreasing. We'll be interested to see whether they are able to kind of increase this. They've got, I believe, 100,000 Ethereum that have been deposited into their smart yield wallet, so that's about $220 million dollars worth of Ethereum. So one of the things that potentially they will have trouble with as they get kind of larger and get larger deposits and are dealing with more kind of crypto is just generating high yields on such a large amount of kind of Ethereum. On a small amount, you can often take some risks. Some of these liquidity kind of pools are relatively kind of small, so you can take advantage of those. If you've got a huge amount of Ethereum to actually kind of like use, often it's a little bit harder to get those really high rates. So I imagine maybe we'll see it towards the kind of lower end of the kind of returns going forward, but be interesting to see how they perform over the next month or so. For full transparency, I do have, I think it's just 5 Ethereum that I put into their smart yield program just to see how it kind of worked, and in preparation for doing a full review kind of video. And that review video, as I mentioned earlier, will be coming out once they've launched their BTC yield, and that's been going for a little while. I'll do a full review of the kind of platform, but some interesting stuff, not just relating to them, but the DeFi market in kind of general in this report. So well worth having a read through at your leisure. That's it for this week's video. Thanks very much for watching. As always, apologies again, it's been a little bit short and a little bit all over the shop over the last few weeks. We're sort of back into the kind of swing of things now, and we'll be doing a regular kind of like, hopefully more feature kind of packed and news packed updates going forward. So thanks again for watching. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. But until then, have a great day. Bye bye.